Hello, hello everyone. Hello, happy Friday. Today is a different day. We usually come here, pop up on Thursday, but today we decide to come on Friday as our energy didn't align for the Thursday night conversation. So, hello everyone. Hello, all the body, mind, and soul providers. Welcome back to our pop-up conversation, weekly conversations. And today we have, like always, our beautiful Lorna and Michelle, our co-host here. Say hello. Let us know where you popping in from. Let us know what was your week like, and we will want to talk today about energy because my energy is not that high today. So I will have these beautiful ladies. We can talk about how we can manage our energies when we're going through big transitions in our life. That can be business, personal, or you name it. So, ladies, who wants to go first? Who wants to bring up some more energy today?
All right. Well, I can start. That's no problem. And I've just had a big transition as well. So we can start there. And it was interesting because my son, who has autism and is at home, he's not independent his own self, just turned 20. So it was sort of one of these watershed moments where nothing really changed. And it was sort of like one of these silent transitions that happens that you're not really aware of until all of a sudden you think, holy doodle, what happened there? So, and I hadn't noticed it, but my energy had been different leading up to the moment of the transition. And then when I realized, oh, my energy has completely changed afterwards. So it's just sort of an interesting experience having to kind of in his case, it was about, having to move from, being, we've been making this progression for some time as he moves into adulthood where I'm obviously, as a mom, you always care about your kids and you're thinking about him. In his case, I need to be prepared, extra, because if I'm not here, what's going to happen is sort of the worry of a special needs parent. And you don't want to put that on a sibling or, something else. So you have to kind of ease yourself out of it though, because you're so used to I don't want to say helicopter parenting, but you kind of go through this transition where you relinquish control. And I think it's a lot like other types of transitions, whether it's a relationship transition or even a business transition where you're phasing out of something and then the tipping point comes where you're more out than in. and then suddenly you have emotions and things that you hadn't expected to come up, come up. So managing that transition, especially when you hadn't been, if it's a clear transition, sometimes it's almost easier. Like if it's you're going to be, something's going to happen, you can prepare for it and then it happens and then you're through it. But then if it sneaks up on you like that, it can be, it can kind of catch you unaware sometimes that you've gone through a transition, and then you have to go back and think, oh yeah, in hindsight I see. So I don't know, that's where I go with when I think of energy management and transitions, because it's for me, in this particular circumstance, it's almost like a little bit of a grief process, because you're letting go of a lot of expectations, you're letting go of fears, you're letting go, it's sort of like a whole mixed bag of stuff that happens. So that's my energy transition management story this week.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it seems like it's what is it this week? What's this week?
Yeah. Well, and it can totally affect your business side. So even something like when you're managing some sort of personal transition, the energy from that can spill over into your business management, because where your business management is all about where your head's at, right? You were saying, Lorna?
I was just going to say, yeah, because as the three of us have talked, that it's being witness to and sharing with each other what we're going through, and some big things, and sometimes it feels like it's you know, in a day and kind of, okay, it's done. You know, there's the big, it was big that way and kind of, and then somehow the next day. And other times it's days and weeks and months sometimes, and just riding that. And a couple of the visuals that came, Michelle, when you were talking, was that sometimes it feels like there's this, you know, this storm that's just sort of blowing around, and just kind of try to make sense of it. And other times there's sort of this, and then it just sort of like a little leaves that sort of fall, you know, it's just kind of, oh yeah, something's changed.
And this one was sort of like actually many years in the making. And then it was very anticlimactic. Because it was sort of like, oh, okay, yeah, here he is, 20. Okay. And tomorrow's another day, and nothing's really going to be different, except that the mindset is like, okay, yeah, now he's 20. And there's going to be shifts and changes and plans. And for me, it is specifically related to my business, because one of the reasons why I do the digital marketing and the offer ecosystem assessments is to generate money for families like mine to pay for respite as a social purpose enterprise. And it was sort of this interesting moment where instead of me being in direct service to him on a daily basis, it's sort of relinquishing that direct care for a more indirect, okay, now I'm going to help the sector, you know, and I'm going to, you know, like he's set up, he's got help, and now I kind of am letting go of that as a mother. But then as a community member in the complex needs community, there's still more to do, because there are not enough resources. And so it's sort of like just shifting and changing that energy, kind of tai chiing that shit into my purpose and into why I'm here. So it was a really interesting, he's always been a gift in my life, and I've learned so many things from him. And now it's another kind of gift, because I get to expand in new ways, serving him indirectly.
Adriana, what has it been like for you? I know you've been this week, as you know, as you've shared with us, that there's some big things that are happening for you. How are you managing, and what's
it's like that, it's even hard to, I'm still into it, you know, where you are in the water, it's kind of hard to say how it is to be outside of it. But it's this, like, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning, sometimes I feel like I'm up, like even my body's reacting. Like this morning I woke up with a huge allergy, my whole face is puffed off and swollen and itchy. So I'm not even know what what's happening, but definitely I was like, you know, a part of me was like, I want to, the energy of like frustrated, like I don't like this, I want to push it away. And then I'm like, if this came up, it came up for a reason. Something is trying to let go. Something is trying to eliminate that. This inflammation has a meaning. This allergy has a meaning. And I just have to, sometimes you have to sit with it and just discover what's happening. And is this, you know, I feel like the energies is the pureness of your energy of who we are, because that's what we all are. We are just energy. At the micro level, the micro level, all the levels you think of, we all just energy. And the energy is like the Chakti, it's called in the Eastern culture. The Chakti has to flow. And if it doesn't flow, it's because I call it this bubbles of different energies that have been accumulated from, you know, past generation, parents, stress, society, expectations, pressure you put on yourself, pressure you put on your business, and the business put on you. And so all these things, they are this bubble of energies that they are like a lot of them. And all these bubbles are literally pressing down and pushing away more deep inside my own energy. And my energy just want to flow. And I start thinking of this circle, you know, the same like we call inner circle, the power of circle. Because circle, doesn't matter what you do, the energy is not going to set in it. It's going to try to find its way out. So it's circling. So it start creating a vortex. It start creating an energy in the energy itself. And it moves, it start moving the circles. And I think that's what happened for me this week. Some parts I start moving, and that energy wants to come in between. and I don't know what to do with it, in the sense like it's strange, in the sense like I feel like it's not mine, but it is. So sometimes what I realize with energy, you just have to sit with it, to know it if you don't know it. In case I say in the business, when I feel like my energy is low in my business, in the end, business or personal, I think is still exactly the same thing. It's still your energy. So I literally have to sit and ask myself, what is this? What is trying to come up? What is this energy? And how can I use it? Because I truly believe that any kind of energy can be used. That's why it's there to be used. It depends how we choose to use it. So that's where I'm in the midst of figuring out, okay, with this energy that feels strange, what do I do with it? How can I use it instead of just let it use me?
Yeah,
So that's where I'm,
conscious management of your energy. When I went
yeah,
to healers training with Master Co in Chicago, we talked about the energy attachments that happen between people and the energy field, and how the energy how energy gets trapped and things that get stuck in there, and how to clean it. And I think that's I think that managing our energy bodies is equally as important as managing our physical bodies, especially during transitions,
yeah,
because part of that, when you're making a transition, you're literally changed. So if you keep the same energy from before, you can't complete your transition if you're not like managing your energy field as well, right? So
yeah,
but identifying where it is and where it's coming from and how to clear it, that's
yeah.
Mm.
I would like to hear Lorna, because Lorna, she's always the one between all three of us that she's very in tune with her energy. I would like to see what's coming up for her.
Mm. I would say branching off and springboarding with from what each of you has said is that aspect of literally being with it, to really allow it to be what it is. And sometimes there's that place where we think, or I think, claim it, the thought comes that, oh, I should be something else. I'm going to be around other people, I should put on a and it's kind of like, where did that come from? And so even in those places, to start to see where some of those should start to show up as we are sitting with it, as we are allowing it to be what it is. And then I remember back 25 years ago when I was doing my energy teacher talked about, and she was actually a medical doctor to start, and talked about various things. And we think about, we talk about the words stable. I want a stable family. I want a stable business. And she said, actually, stable equals death. So an electron, when it's moving, it's on this curve. It's when it's up in here is when there's that most movement, where there's that most aliveness. When it's stable, it's stuck down here. And so allowing that, when those places are using that when we feel things are shifting and changing, it's a very dynamic process. Life is happening. And so when it goes into this place where it feels like nothing seems to be happening, to allow that, okay, what is dying? What is dying away? What is ready to be
released?
Go to compost for new life to come from that. So it just seems that for me, it becomes this piece of recognizing where there's judgment. And the idea, even when we think about judgment, we think about, I'm judging somebody for the negative things. But anytime we say something is positive, that this is better than this, we're judging this. We're saying this is better. There's judgment there. Anything beyond it is what it is
Right.
judgment. And so to be able to, how do we come into that place of riding the waves and being with what it is, what it reveals to us? And
when you were saying that, what occurred to me too is that then we have that whole identity thermostat thing that happens where, you know, we get tracked in on, you know, this is who I am and my energy and my identity. And if we transition too far out of that, either way, you know, up or down in energy, that our, you know, our internal thermostat tries to bring us back to where it is. And so if we want to make some sort of shift, and I always find that can really challenge our brains in terms of being able to accept that. And it can really push back and challenge us, right? I find this time of year is also, and I'm not sure if it's, you know, for me, going the back to school horizon was always really challenging, you know, for the last while. And but I also kind of feel like just naturally shifting from that growth, that spring and summer growth and you know, creation kind of energy into the fall harvest gathering, you know, settling mode, in where things pivot. They reach that point where the tipping point comes where they're not getting more, they're getting less. And that transition, just even the light change, right, can affect it. And so just if we tune into those sorts of things, yeah, it can be quite when they coordinate like that, it can really land with you.
Yeah. The energy is always, they say, the energy always gonna move. You can never stop our energy. Doesn't matter how much we try. I love what Lorna you mentioned about this, the idea of, you know, that when you said the stability for the stillness, and it's kind of like this almost that antagonist, because you find peace and you find more energy when you still, but also the energy moves through that. Because I feel like when we are moving and we keeping each other, you keeping busy and through businesses and everything, I feel like we actually, that's when we don't allow our energy to come through, because we're too busy to become aware of it. And when we sit still, that's when energy has the openness, the potential to flow through us more. That's why we become more creative with our businesses. That's how we have more vision or bigger vision for our businesses, how we can serve in a, you know, different ways our clients and so on. So it's this battle between understanding the importance of allowing energy to flow, but through stillness, not to setting, you know, or sometimes it's even hard to explain in words. It's more of the feeling, is more how you have to feel it to understand it. But I would like to ask each one of you, in your opinion and your own experience, when it comes with transitions, big transition throughout your business or throughout your personal life or all together, what was, say, a tool, a tip, or advice that you got that helped you to manage your own energy through such situations?
Lorna, you want to go first?
Sure. For me, I would say it always comes back to feeling, to that feeling what's happening inside. Even, you know, when my thoughts get spinning, trying to figure out what's happening, what am I going to do? What's this mean? Even that has a feeling. So can I feel what's happening? And it feels like when I can keep feeling, that when there's not this sense of, well, I should, or what will, just when I can be in that place of peace, then that's when things just, the outer world starts to shift. So for me, that, and, you know, there would be other things that I would do along the way, you know, in terms of, okay, you know, get out and go for a walk or some of those pieces, but it always comes back to the feeling is the primary thing, and letting things go from there. Okay, maybe it might be getting out and going for a walk, getting a change of scenery will allow me to feel more deeply, whatever it is, but that's my go-to.
Beautiful.
And a couple things come to my mind is, like, you know, obviously giving yourself grace that you're not, especially when you're going through a big transition, that you're not going to necessarily have it all figured out in 2 seconds, right? Like that it's going to take, especially if you're developing entirely new sections to your life, it's going to take a little bit of trial and error to kind of, see what's right. But, and then in terms of, I think I echo what Lorna says is, for me, it's that detachment, getting that place of detachment where, I am not my emotions, I am not my thoughts, I am not my body, I am the being that runs my emotions, thoughts, and body, and that I create that, and then being able to maintain that perspective and connect to a higher source to allow that to kind of flow that energy to flow through, and then that's sort of where I get the clarity and the oh yeah moments. Like if you you need to ground yourself and just manage it by kind of detaching from it in a sense.
Yeah.
At that,
Yes.
and identifying, working through, I found the Thinking the Results program super, super helpful, in terms of just like identifying, being able to replace when you do have a paradigm or a limiting belief that has presented itself and you're like, this transition is presenting me, I'm behaving a certain way, and I can see, I'm observing my behavior from that, distant place, and I'm seeing, okay, yeah, that's the behavior of someone who believes this, and I want to transition to a different belief. Then once you've identified what that is, learning how to replace them, and with new paradigms, because you can't ever anything you focus on grows. So you can't focus on the negative one to take it out, but you can focus on a positive one to replace it. So
Yeah. That's a great tool. Awareness is huge. Awareness is something that, and awareness, I think, is something that you have to practice it. If you're not, if you don't do it in a regular basis, you have to practice it to be able to master it. No, when it comes to my energy, when my energy is low, or I'm going through transitions and I don't have the energy I'm needing to push through or go to those transitions, I learned one thing that is not quite common in entrepreneurial world or in a business people, which is ask for freaking help.
right?
Borrow someone else's energy. If you don't have energy, stop trying to make it, because it's not gonna come if you don't have it. Just ask and borrow someone else's energy.
That's cool.
It's important to just be aware and say, yeah, in this moment, this is my energy. That's all I have. Can we work with this? Or can I borrow you? Or can you come with the other 80% because I only have 20? It's huge. And it's something that I as I say it to everyone, this is how I say it to me, because I look at myself now and I said, ask for freaking help. Stop struggling with yourself. Stop pushing. Stop trying to make it when it's not there. And just be okay with not having the energy that you think you should have. Maybe that's all you need to have. So
well, you
that's
know
the
what,
tool I
I
can
think
share.
that is a brilliant segue into, I think, what we've been talking about for here in Body, Mind, and Soul Network. Is we've been thinking, or I don't know if you guys mind me spilling the tea on this one, but we've been thinking about having a challenge of some sort, and it occurred to us that maybe an energy management challenge would be something that would be useful for the group to just focus on and to hold space for. And speaking of borrowing other people's energy, to hold that space and to just create we're not sure whether it be like a daily or weekly Zoom or other kind of meetup where we can just go around and have a regular reminder about to create the habits of energy management, because like you say, consistency is the key. So we were looking, it would be great to hear from those in the audience if that would be something that they would be interested in participating in, because we were definitely thinking about having a challenge coming up soon in terms of energy management. So if you'd be interested in that, let us know. I just thought I'd put that plug in there, just like, oh,
yes.
great.
So that's perfect.
Yes, listen to that energy, listen to that intuition that comes. Definitely. And also we will love to see you and see your energy and how you show up with your low or high energy. Doesn't matter. We love all of energies. On next Sunday on the 6th of October, we have another Connection Circle event. We'll love to have you there. We will drop the link in the comments for sure, so you can register as well. We'll love to see you. If you've been before, come again, say hello, and let us know what else you've been doing in your business and how you serve people, because we're all these creative human beings and we love to bring new things in our awareness and for those that we serve.
And you know what? I think, Adriana, I was just looking at it and we actually have already a full house for that one. So just come and share it. Yeah, come and share energy. And then you can, when we drop the registration link, the next one on the 20th has 5 seats open still. But yeah, next week's is all sold out. But we would love to have you, and you might have to start doing it more regularly, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the energy plays.
We've got enough energy for it.
Yes.
There's a key word, right? Let's play with it a little bit too. Sometimes we do
play with it
pretty seriously, and so how do we allow some playfulness in there, play with it.
for sure.
Cool.
I'll be up. So thank you so much to both of you, my beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. If you like what you hear and if you want to participate to our conversation, you can always do, even if you watch it on replay. Drop your comments below, drop your ideas, your thoughts. Maybe you have some tricks and tools up of your sleeve that we don't know, and we'll love to learn from you as well. And if you have something that helps your energy to boost it, especially to big transition throughout your life, then come to our circle event so you can connect with us and teach us and share with us what you have already. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care of you, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.